Oriire, Funowo, good tidings to you. I pray that you are feeling awake, aware, and elevated in mind, body, and spirit, wherever you are and whatever may be happening around you. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. I'm Baba Umar, Oluranse Emese, voice of the MSA, member of the Isoro Traditional Council of Chiefs, Oluwo of the House of Umar, and Babalawo of Ile-Ife Orisa. This Ile, the spiritual house and website, and these video lessons are sanctioned by the Isoro Traditional Council of Chiefs in Ile-Ife, Nigeria. Oriire, abundant blessings to our Egbe, our online community of subscribers that's growing daily. Thank you for joining us for another lesson in our video blog series. Remember, as a member of our Egbe, you can support each other's spiritual journey by posting your questions and uplifting comments in the comment section below. You can also email me directly using the link in the description section below. If you're new to our video series, we invite you to click the links below to become a subscriber and a member of our Egbe. Also, click the notification button to stay up to date and share this resource with your family, friends, associates, and anyone that you think may benefit from this wisdom. Homage to the one who sends and to those who are sent. Homage to Orisa and Egun. Our topic in this video is the 16 Truths of Ifa, Part 2. Continuing from my last video, let's consider the next 8 of the 16 Truths of Ifa. Remember, in an earlier video, I said a people's culture is their entire design for living, passed on from one generation to the next through learning. The 16 Truths of Ifa are part of the message of the Yoruba culture that has been passed down to us from our ancestors for generations. This is the 16 Truths of Ifa provide the framework of the Yoruba culture. Number 9, you must never initiate harm to another human being. This applies not only to physical harm, but also emotional, social, financial, and any other form of hardship. Do no harm. Remember the sacred agreement we have with Olorun to create the good condition for every human being, as outlined in Irosu Iwori, the 78th Odu Ifa. And this not only applies to actions that you might take through physical agency, but also to actions you might take through spiritual and metaphysical pathways. Do no harm. This means that you should not wish, pray for, conjure, or will any form of harm to be visited upon another person. It's better that you wish, pray for, conjure, or will that your enemy or your tormentor have a revelation of consciousness or a change of heart, rather than to wish harm upon them. Let Olofi-dumare and Oriire be the judges of whether harm is the only way to deal with a soul in violation of righteous behavior. Trust that Oriire will protect their own. When someone acts as an enemy towards you, simply express the ancient Ofo, the ancient incantation, Owo Tegede, Bagbe, Ara relo finna. When the banana lifts its hand, it beats itself with it. Picture in your mind when we peel a banana, what happens? The peeled part, the skin of the banana flaps down and it hits the banana. So the banana hits itself. This ofo is based on an observation our ancestors made about the banana. When you peel the banana, again, notice how the skin of the banana flaps down and back to hit the banana. So our ancestors looked at this and used this as an incantation to say, in a bid to hurt you, your enemies will only hurt themselves. Trust in that. So you don't have to go negative and retaliate against your enemies. Trust that in the nature, remember, Ifa is the nature of, it's how the universe works. It's the nature of the universe. And so our ancestors are pointing out to us through this incantation that all will be taken care of. You don't have to become negative to deal with your enemies. It is difficult for some of us to believe or conceive of the mysteries of our ancestors, the mysteries that our ancestors brought from behind the veil. The religious world has cast a dark shadow over many of the practices of our ancestors, and much has been lost because of our experiences in contact with Western culture. Many of us have forgotten that we have the power to affect the world, for better or for worse, through the proper use of the tongue. That is, the powerful spiritual methodology, including oro ashe, speaking words of power, and ofo ashe, incantations. We can affect the world. Trust that. Do no harm. Number 10, you must never harm the universe of which you are a part. Clearly, the world has lost sight of this ancient wisdom. Ifa reminds us through the parables of the sacred corpus, the Odu Ifa, that humans are a part of the fabric of one creation. There is only one thing. There is only one reality. The Western cornucopia worldview sees humans as a species apart, and the earth and other living things as being here to serve our selfish purposes. Ifa tells us that if we persist in that kind of thinking, we are bound to destroy ourselves and suffer greater and greater hardships on the road to that eventual destruction. We can clearly see this happening in the world today. This should be evident from the events taking place in the world around us today. All of the essentials of life, water, food, air, the ecosystems, and biodiversity are being devastated. Humans have offended the domains of the Orisa, and the Orisa are today acting according to the laws of reciprocity and cause and effect. Ifa reflects on ecological philosophy of thought. Our ancestors grew in wisdom and designed a way of life based on how we operate, how the universe operates, based on the law of Isopo, connectivity with the natural environment and all of its interrelatedness, interconnectedness, and interdependent forces, elements, and creatures. Number 11. Your temporal and spiritual capacities must work together. We are designed with 2 hands, 2 feet, 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, and a mouth that serves 2 purposes, taking in and putting out. Likewise, our hands, feet, eyes, ears, nostrils, and mouth can serve 2 masters. Actually, we can say they can only serve 1 master at a time. They can serve our physical ori, or they can serve our spiritual Ori, or they can serve our physical Ori and our spiritual Ori if our physical Ori and our spiritual Ori are aligned with each other. Remember the Ifa saying, Ori numi mabatodeje. May my spiritual Ori not be in conflict with my physical Ori. Of course, serving two masters can always create opportunities for conflict. In this case, inner dissonance, confusion, bad health, and poor relationships if our Oris, the physical and the spiritual, are not aligned. The solution to avoid the dissonance or resolve it in favor of your spiritual Ori, it is to bring the two together, to align them. When you are in doubt, when you feel dissonance, seek an answer from your spiritual Ori by consulting Ifa. Ifa presents you with the choices and the opinions that will lead you to succeed, and leave it to you to bring your physical Ori into alignment with your spiritual Ori, the carrier of your destiny. Number 12, you're born with a specific path. It is your goal to travel that path. Divination provides your roadmap for following your path. You were commanded let me put it this way. You're not commanded or forced to come into the world. You chose to come into the world. You chose to come in order to share the wondrous experience of co-creation. You came to fulfill the longings of your own heart and legacy, of your ancestral lineage. In that process, you are a vehicle for Olorum to explore the realm of infinite possibility. You and I are, in fact, avatars of Orisun, source energy, experiencing and expressing our ability to create a multiplicity of realities within the realm of infinite possibility. The mystery for us is that most of us have, through the birthing process, forgotten that we are one with Source and cannot be separated from it. When Ifa says that your Ori is your guide, it is pointing you in the direction of this remembrance. Your spiritual Ori is your divine share of the universal divine consciousness, the sentience of the Ashe, your divine share of the infinite power of Olofi-dumare. You are an Ada Olorum, creature of God, an Omo Olorum, a child of God, an Oluranse Olorum, a servant of God. In fact, a God in human form. Discovering your Ojo Ibi Odu, your birthing Odu, the Odu that you brought with you into the world as your navigational roadmap, your Orisha, being initiated, gathering items of Ifa from your rituals and ceremonies, and those that just come to you, calling on your Ori and listening with certainty for its response. All of these are parts of your path. Your journey to fulfill your destiny will also involve interacting with other people in the complex area of the Loja, the marketplace. The Loja is full of noise, distractions, temptations, challenges, and obstacles. The Loja is where negative and hostile forces work to destroy humans and my works by throwing confusion into our path. Ifa divination provides us with a way to escape confusion by getting clear answers to our problems and pointing us in the direction of our true identity. Number 13. Our ancestors exist and must be honored. Each of us is part of a long chain of souls who have come into this world, lived and died, leaving behind their genetic legacy. We return to this world by choice, through our lineage, and from that perspective, it is possible for you to give birth to a child who is the return of your great-great-great-grandfather or grandmother. It is by keeping the memory of our ancestors alive in oral and written tradition and ceremonies that we're able to recognize them when they return. Although we refer to Ifa as the spiritual tradition of Ancestor and Oriire worship, we in fact honor our ancestors more so than worship them. Keep in mind that there are, we could say, two categories of ancestor when we use that word. Language challenges us to try and make things clear. So we use the word ancestors and we say, well, Ifa is the spiritual tradition of Oriire and ancestor worship. But there are our personal ancestors, those of our familial bloodline and lineage. And along with that, there are our community ancestors, the ancestors of familial lines and lineage of the people, all of the brothers and sisters in our community. And then there are our primordial ancestors, the beings from the sky who fostered the seeding of human beings on planet Earth. The former category, our lineage, those are the ancestors that we honor. And the latter category, the primordial ancestors, those are the ones whom we worship. We don't worship our bloodline ancestors, we honor them. We worship the beings from the sky, the entities that support life in this universe, in this galaxy, on this planet. More about that in a future lesson. Death does not end the life of a soul or limit the capacity of the soul to feel its own connection to the ongoing legacy of its lineage. Among the forces recognized in the Ifa tradition, the Egun ancestors are always considered to be a positive force in our lives, always working to our benefit. We can choose to honor their legacy, continue its development, and to pass on to our descendants that knowledge and that wisdom. Or we can choose to break the chain of wisdom that lies waiting to be accessed in every cell of our body temple. One of our greatest powers in this reality is our power to choose to see. Ori, to choose to see. Orisha, to choose to see. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Number 14. Sacrifice guarantees success. In a sense, actually in fact, Ifa is a give and take belief system, law of reciprocity. Most of the Essay Ifa, the verses of the Ifa Corpus, the sacred Odus, carry an underlying theme. Sacrifice is necessary to avoid difficulties, to solve problems, to achieve success and to fulfill one's chosen destiny. The particular offerings that must be made may vary. The client for whom Ifa has been read may choose to follow the advice of Ifa or not, but sacrifice is always advised. If you understand the Ifa history of the beginning that I've spoken about in previous posts and previous videos, and if you understand the significance of Ashe, primordial energy, spiritual energy, and power, then you can understand that sacrifice is how we move the Ashe and alter the configuration of the universe. That process is accomplished by making a kind of contract with the Oriire, who hold the fabric of creation together. If your Ori permits it, and if Eshu clears the way, you will give the Oriire something, and they will in turn assist you in accomplishing that which you are seeking. Consider the Ifa saying, Riru ebo ni igbe ni, airu ki igbe eyan. It is the offering of sacrifice that brings blessings. Neglect of sacrifice blesses no one. Ojo oburu ebo ni igbe nio. In the days of turbulence, it is ebo, sacrifice, that saves. Nothing in the universe of creation is isolated from anything else. Everything is connected. When you ask for some aspect of your life to change, no matter how large or how small, the entire universe of creation will be reconfigured to accommodate your desired reality. Consider that when you eat something, your entire body is changed because every cell in your body is connected to every other cell. So whatever changes in your stomach changes in the entire anatomical and physiological universe of Ara Ojupo. So it is with the greater cosmos. Remember, whenever you change a thing, we change more than what is intended. Nothing stands in isolation from everything else. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Number 15, the Oriire live within us. Remember truth number 8? You are a part of the universe in a literal, not simply figurative way. Yes, the universe has an existence that we can experience as out there, and that existence has validity in your and my journey in the Loja. But there's also a universe in us that is both an extension and a reflection of that outer universe. So it is with the Oriire. The Oriire are part of the sentient matrix of entities that Olofi-dumare called into existence in order to orchestrate and sustain the creation process. They are aspects of the unity, the one, the eternal, the source. Those sentient energy matrices also exist within each of us, and we choose to heighten our sensitivity and connection to one or more of those Oriire at the time we choose to come into the world. And further, once we arrive in the world. There's a saying, Aweati eboni muni ribi Oriire. Fasting and rituals transform us into the image of the Oriire. There are ways in which we can choose to live our lives that may unlock latent powers within us that are just waiting for us to understand who and what we really are. Iwa Pele, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. And finally, number 16, we need not fear. Trusting in the unseen can be difficult, even for those of us who are sincere believers. It depends on the situation that we're dealing with. Trusting in Ifa in the face of fear is the way to eventually overcome your fears and strengthen your faith in the unseen. Remember the story of the thief that we talked about in a previous video? Certainly the man who Ifa told to go out and steal like his father before him was filled with fear about following Ifa's guidance, but he faced his fear with the support of his wife and learned from his experience that Ifa does not lie and Orisa never break their promises. That was in the video, The Way is Not Always Clear. Review that video to reinforce your own faith in Ifa. But you need not fear. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. If you receive some guidance, some help, some assistance, some insight, some inspiration from this video, click the like button. Remember, that's how you communicate with YouTube's algorithms, to say when they see more people clicking that like button, they say, oh, okay, people are really liking this material. Let's give this material more presence on the news feed. So I pray that you get something from this video, that you'll become a member of our online Egg Bay, and that you're blessed throughout this day, throughout your week, your month, and the years to come. Ki Olofi-dumare Orisha ati egun fifune ni itona imoye ati Oriire. May Olofi-dumare Orisha and Egun bestow on you guidance, wisdom, and abundant blessings. Ifo Kanbele, peace of mind from Olofi-dumare. Ajo lo, ajo bo. We go out together, we return together. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo.